Folks, welcome to Wani. With us today we have an amazing gentleman I've known since a long time. We have Mr. Kael of 5FDP's. How are you doing, Chris?
You know, it is good to be here. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you again.
Oh, wonderful. Now, before we proceed, this is the first time I'm seeing you. I've traveled from India.
Oh man,
Yeah.
nice.
To see all three bands. It's been a long time, so I'm glad to be here and have an opportunity to have a chat with you.
Very cool, man. Good to see you out here. Thanks for making the trip. That's a hell of a journey to come see you on the
Yeah.
show. So.
That's cool. Now, like you said, a week started since you've been doing shows.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the photos on the internet with jam-packed crowds singing loud. So, how's been this experience so far with Papa Roach and Devil?
You know, it's been great with Papa Roach. We've been out with those guys. At this point, it's for about 6 or 7 weeks now.
Yeah.
We did a U.S. tour with those guys, and we brought that tour over here to kind of make it a world tour.
Right.
And just great people. You saw me when I was walking down the hallway just now.
Yeah.
Saw those guys getting out of meet and greet. So it's been a very friendly situation.
Mm-hmm.
I hang out with Tony all the time and Jacoby and all those guys. It's been really good. We just met those guys in Australia, I think it was, when they were first doing their first tour.
Soundwave,
exactly. It was the first time we met them. And we were big fans of Howard in the first place, you know.
Yeah,
so it was good to have those guys come out and support us on this tour, particularly with their new album that just came out. So that's Friday, I think it was.
Right.
Good to see those guys out there plugging away. And Howard's a big guy with a big voice. So good to see him up there.
That's wonderful. Now, how's the difference you feel when you come to Europe and play for the fans as compared to playing home in US?
Europe is one of those places. Like when we play the States. We started off in the States and really focused on building up an audience there.
Mm-hmm.
So we were playing the States a lot.
Mm-hmm.
When you come over to Europe, some of these people have been waiting. I mean, Hannover, this is the first time we've been to Hannover as far as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
I know we have done a lot of Germany shows, but I think this is the first time in Hannover. So, the Europeans and those outside of the United States have been waiting sometimes a long time for us to come over. So, it's a huge anticipation that they have once we finally get here. So you can really feel that anticipation. Mm-hmm. And the energy is great. Like I said, they sing along, very energetic, very active crowds.
Right.
And, I absolutely love touring Europe. It's great.
That's wonderful. I mean, what differences do you generally feel? Do 5FDP's love playing club shows or like arenas or festivals like Rockstar Mayhem?
We've had the opportunity on this tour to do both the arenas, and then we had one smaller club show in Oslo, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And people always are like, what's your favorite place to play? Do you like doing the arenas, or do you like doing the smaller intimate stuff? And honestly, I love doing both of them. There's certain things that I like about both. Obviously, when you're playing in an arena, it feels massive. Particularly at the end of the show, when Ivan has everybody bring out their lighters before the bleeding.
Yeah.
You see all the lights in that arena light up, and it becomes like day.
Yeah.
It's
an amazing experience.
Oh, it's incredible. But then also, you get the up close energy of a smaller place, like we had in Oslo the other day. You can't go wrong playing rock and roll at all. It doesn't.
Right.
I don't care if I'm playing in front of. They always say in front of 5 or
500 or 5,000.
Exactly. So,
wonderful. How did the band feel when, for the third time, the new album Gotcha 6 cracked number 2 and didn't reach number 1?
Yeah.
It would have been disappointing because first time, second time, and now third time in a row.
You can't say that debuting at number 2 on the Billboard charts is ever disappointing.
Not really.
Particularly doing heavy metal and hard rock type stuff. This is the third album. Like you said, that debuted at number 2. Obviously, we were hoping for a number 1, but when you got pop artists that are selling upwards of 1 million copies, it's hard to compete with that.
Right.
The audience for pop stuff is obviously it's called pop for a reason. It's popular.
Right.
It has a bigger audience, but we have incredible support. Every album that we've had has sold more and more for the first week.
Yeah.
So we're seeing that progression still. I think this was sold 112.
One.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, 112.
Yeah, first week. Fuck, I never thought I'd be in a band selling 112,000 copies of anything, period.
That's amazing.
Let alone the first week.
Looking at how the music business is right now, with damn good bands selling 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, and 5-figure deathmatch, having a solid fan base, maybe due to the reason that you have a more compatible connection with your fans in terms of communicating. So that might be one of the attributes why people are buying, albums.
Oh yeah, I was talking about that in another interview a little while ago. Actually, is that we have such an intimate relationship with the fans due to social media.
Yeah.
We're all great at running our own Facebook pages, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. That's all actually us that does that. So we were in a time where kind of the mythical rock star thing is kind of dead. It becomes no longer a fan-musician relationship. It becomes a kind of a friend relationship. So it's a one-to-one. It's a new age, exactly. Yeah. It's a new age in rock and roll, and we're very good at keeping that personal connection going.
That's wonderful. How long do you think it's going to take for you guys to, let's say, headline the European festivals? You guys have done Rockstar, so what about European festivals? I mean, where do you see down the road band, headlining Wacken or maybe Hellfest? I mean, you never know.
That's certainly a goal of ours. You got a lot of the bands retire, and we're going out with Black Sabbath.
Yeah, in Australia.
Coming up here soon, and those guys are wrapping that thing up. So it's definitely going to create an opening for bands like us that have these strong followings, and you'll see it tonight at the show here.
Right.
And that's definitely something that we're looking forward to. It's always a goal to get to that top tier. And again, we've got a huge supportive fan base. A lot of people are into us. A lot of people come out to the show. So once that void happens and they need somebody to step up and take over that position, by all means, give us a call. We're ready to roll.
Apart from you guys, is there any other band you guys feel like, they would be our colleagues down the road, headlining festivals?
Right now, I can't even really think. I mean, that's something that happens organically.
Yeah.
You can't really predict something like that. I mean, who the hell would have thought a band with a name called 5-Finger Death Punch would be headlining anything, So you can't really predict that. There's bands that I like a lot, and that's up to the fans to kind of dictate, They're the ones that need to get out there and buy the records and go to the shows to kind of put their favorite band into those headlining spots.
That's wonderful. We're talking about Black Sabbath. Like you said, they're going on the final tour, but it's without Billboard. So, what's your take on it to see the band which has started and now ending without the original drummer?
I was going to say, I can't really say shit about that because I'm the newest bassist of 5-Finger Death Punch, So far be it from me to be like, the original has to come out. Were it not for them losing the last bass player, I wouldn't have this opportunity at all. So, as a fan, you have your favorite lineups. That was the classic Black Sabbath lineup that people grew up on and loved and enjoyed. So I can understand that, but it would certainly be hypocritical of me to say, the original has to go out.
Right. There's something unique you guys did, I think, on the stage tour with sort of a fan voting, and then you and Papa Roach together, you got, I think, 1.6 million response from the fans. Yeah. Do you see that as the future of touring?
It's nice to do, particularly for a band like us that has the opportunity to pretty much go wherever we want to. You always have fans clamoring, like this morning somebody's like, Denmark has half the population of Pittsburgh, and you guys didn't come to Pittsburgh, but you went to Denmark. It's nice to kind of put it in the hands of the fans and figure out exactly where those hubs of fans are.
Yeah.
And the internet is a good tool for us to kind of use that and figure out where people are popping up. Some of those places, I wouldn't have thought that had quite the support that we do in those areas. So, and then you do the online voting, and you're like, wait a minute. Were we forgetting about this place?
Yeah.
And you show up and play to a sold out arena, and you're like, okay, the fans are spoken, and here we are.
Wonderful. Now, have you ever? I don't know, because I don't see any 5-Figure Death Punch only response or in terms of any request from promoters in India. But has it ever been on bands diary that we gotta go to countries like India and play for fans?
We are down to play wherever, whenever. I do get requests on Facebook and whatnot from the fans down in India for us to come down there. So have the artists give us a call. I don't know. As a bass player, I don't know who reaches out to us to try to get us to come down. But let's make it happen. I'm down to play anywhere. I'm ready to go and get in front of the fans.
That's wonderful. Recently, whatever happened at the Memphis, do you think that made a 5FDP's as a more solid, unit together?
100%. That definitely showed some cracks that day. As a group of 5 very strong personalities. Brothers, essentially. If you grow up in a home with brothers, you're going to fight every now and again. But that's one of those things that kind of spilled out on stage, which we never want to happen. It's, despite what may have been going on that day, you never want to put that out in front of the fans. Those dudes and girls paid a lot of money to come out and see the show.
Right.
So that was a very embarrassing day for us, and we decided that's never ever going to happen. It shouldn't have happened in the first goddamn place. But to have that happen, and it definitely reinforced the bond that we have, and showed us again, reminded us of the importance of always being on top of the game.
Yeah.
And you're going to see that tonight.
That's wonderful. So I look forward to see you for the first time. It's going to be my experience. So
get ready. Well, since it's your first time, I'll try not to fuck it up.
It was an honor having a chat with you. Probably for the fans out there in India who would be listening to this interview, even in Europe. So what would be the words of wisdom from Chris?
Words of wisdom for me is think big, take chances, listen to your inner voice, get out there and do big things.
There you go. Thanks, Chris.